The Archdiocese of Chicago shares the gift of God's love with more than 2.2 million Catholics in Cook and Lake counties. The schools, ministries, agencies, and programs of the Archdiocese serve Catholics and non-Catholics alike throughout northeastern Illinois. Each year, the Archdiocese of Chicago reaches out to the Catholic faith community for support. This year's annual Catholic Appeal carries the theme, Love Your Neighbor as Yourself. It's a theme that goes straight to the core of what it means to be Catholic.
It's a way to bring Christ into the world, to make sure that people who so often go through life without actually feeling that someone cares about them, that we see that as part of the mission of the Church. The annual Catholic Appeal allows people to participate in the work of Christ, not just the work of their parish or the work of the Archdiocese. We're talking about the work of Christ.
Doing the work of Christ begins in our Catholic schools and religious education programs. The annual Catholic Appeal supports the ongoing mission of providing a faith-based education to hundreds of thousands of young people. Administrators, teachers, and the students themselves all know the value of a Catholic education.
I grew up at home and knowing our faith and God and loving every minute of it and all of our celebrations and all of our traditions and everything, and be able to pass that on to our kids and to future generations that will eventually be standing where I am today. And that's just a great feeling to be a part of this.
My role, I would think, is to help the children to develop a closer relationship with God.
You can't really describe it, like how they grow and the questions that they come in with, and last year during Lent we would talk about the scripture every day, and we did a prayer challenge with the church, and every day they would come in with other questions, and it was deepening my faith. Like I was having to look things up, and we were really taking it to the next level, and it was great to see their brains turning and really like, wow, how can I make a difference? How can I help others? How can I live the words that Jesus taught us?
For me, it's important because I've always been Catholic, and I want my children to follow the religion that I have.
What I learn about when I go to class is more about the Catholic faith and more about God and learning about all what He wanted for us.
It's important for me to learn about Jesus and God because I'm a Christian, and I guess Christians have to know what they are in order to be Christian or pray, because then you know who you're praying to.
Catholic education is taught in schools and parish buildings throughout the Archdiocese, and many of those structures are in need of repair. The annual Catholic Appeal is a lifeline for many of our schools and parishes.
St. John Bridgman's has used the money from the annual Catholic Appeal. We've put handicapped restrooms in the lower level of the church. We put handicapped restrooms in the upper level of the church. We've fixed masonry that was otherwise deferred maintenance, and we were able to do it. We've done all kinds of work in our school. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We've really benefited from the annual Catholic Appeal.
Parish communities are vibrant and alive with our Catholic faith, thanks to dedicated lay volunteers and staff who benefit from excellent lay formation programs that are supported by the Appeal.
The annual Catholic Appeal provides funding for ongoing formation and education for a wide variety of people who minister in the parishes. Pastoral associates, directors of religious education, directors of youth ministry, directors of young adult ministry, directors of faith formation. We want them to provide the best ministry that they can to the people in the parishes and to be the best ministers that they can be, because the people of God are entitled to that.
And it's not just our lay staff who experience the benefits of the annual Appeal. Our priests grow in their faith thanks to continuing education, and that helps them help their parishioners.
Contrary to what people might think, we're not perfect the minute we leave seminary. We need more formation, more programs to help us in our ministry. And so the ongoing education of priests allow us to do that. Priests from across the Archdiocese are engaged in many different programs, whether it be growing deeper in their sense of Scripture, learning new pastoral approaches, or for myself, learning how to be a spiritual director. And so the program allows us to go out and get involved in those programs and bring those skill sets back to the parishes.
The Appeal supports several ministries at the heart of our Catholic faith. These ministries allow us to do as Pope Francis has been preaching, to reach out to the marginalized. The Office for Human Dignity and Solidarity reaches out to the less fortunate and looks at all people as our neighbors. Among its many initiatives, the Colby House Prison Ministry.
Once a month we have a Santuario Mass, which is a Mass dedicated for the incarcerated and for the family members that come together in fellowship at 3 p.m. first Sunday of the month. And here's where they come and worship, but also come and fellowship together as family members of incarcerated. We minister to them, we give them Bibles, we give them a lot of booklets, prayer cards, and on the outside we will also provide services for the family members that they are in need of clothes, food. We have a food pantry, but also we assist them at times as needed. We assist them with their bills. Those are the services that we provide for the family members.
The appeal supports the work, dedication, and goals of social justice initiatives across the Archdiocese. Much of this effort is focused on developing a culture of life.
We have Respect Life coordinators in each of the parishes, and we're able to give them pamphlets, we're able to give them materials, training that can help them to lead the ministry in their areas. In addition, we partner with organizations all around the Chicago area to run the March for Life Chicago, and we're able to bring about 10,000 people into the city and to really stand up for life as a result.
The Chicago March for Life is great because it brings the local community together in defense of life. I mean, Washington is awesome because the whole country comes down, but not everyone can make it. By doing it in Chicago, everyone from your parish, from your school can come down and they can go ahead and stand up because frankly, it's more convenient. So it's encouraging to know that your neighbor, your brother, your sister, your cousins believe in the sanctity of life and in fighting against abortion as much as you do.
To love your neighbor as yourself means reaching out to neighbors beyond our borders, to help the needy not just in the Archdiocese of Chicago, but to reach out to the needy around the world. Catholic Relief Services does just that, assisting the poor and vulnerable overseas.
We work in over 100 countries around the world, serving nearly 100 million beneficiaries a year. And our mission is the mission that we read about in Matthew 25. We feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, clothe the naked, shelter the homeless and the oppressed, and we do that all around the world.
Not long ago, I had the opportunity to visit Kenya and see the work that CRS is doing. The phrase, love your neighbor as yourself, could be something that we cannot touch, but when you see it in action, truly change your heart. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to love our neighbors. Thank you for doing that through your contribution to Catholic Appeal.
The need is great, and the need is now. So much good comes from your contributions. We have known God's generosity in our lives. Let us extend God's generosity and mercy to others. Love your neighbor as yourself. Thank you for supporting the annual Catholic Appeal.